Hey, what's up? I'm Dan Fredenberg, and this is for realestate'sascam.com. You'll see in the screen here, I got dandoesdeals.com because I have a lot of websites. I got a lot of websites. I've got so many websites, it's bonkers. But anyway, I've also got this soundboard thing for changing angles, and if in case I ever say or or anything like that, then I can beep it out. But speaking of wanting to say, oh, Um, today, the part that I'm talking about is because I was reading the news and the Canadian news, and there's a house that I want to show you. Now, I'm in multifamily real estate, commercial real estate. You know, I also help some people with some triple net properties, things like that. But let me share my screen right here and show you this picture of this house. Okay, so here's the Google Street View. This house in particular is the one. So it's a neat neighborhood. You can barely see it right over there, but you can see it over here very easily. That's a river. So that means the back of these houses, well, not this side, but the back of these houses on this side, they've got water. Now, one thing you probably notice is that, like this house here, you know, pretty long driveway. This one has a pretty long driveway as well. But this one has a really short driveway, which is basically the same as this one, right? And this house here, they had it built up. They're appraising it at about 2.5 million US, 3 million Canadian. So it's a big place, facing water, modern design. You can see everything else around there is more on the contemporary side. But you know, these are all $1 million plus houses. I don't know about this side. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a bit on the smaller side. Yeah, who knows? It's, you know, prices are nuts, and I'm not on the residential side anyway. But this little house here, the reason why I wanted to draw attention to it is because there's been a Supreme Court case. There's been a Supreme Court case, which means it's already been to court, and then they appealed, and then it went to the Supreme Court after that of the province. And what they said is that the bylaw says you're not allowed to build closer than 15 meters. So that's like close to 20 yards away from this street right here. And then from here to here, apparently that's just a measly, you know, like almost 8. It's like 7 point something meters. And so they got all pissed off about it, and they're like, hey, well, that shouldn't happen. So they took it to court and all that kind of stuff. And the Supreme Court said, you got to tear it down because it's too close to the road. So when I'm talking about realestateisascam.com, you know, this is an example of something in real estate that can completely ruin your plans. Like, honestly, for me, I'm going like, well, why does anybody have the right to do that? You know, like sure, I understand. Maybe the mayor's house is next door, or maybe, you know, that you have some political figures who live on that row. It wouldn't surprise me at all if there are. But you know, but then they get to be busybodies and saying, hey, this person needs to tear down their entire like their house because it was too close. Like, I understand there has to be a punishment for not following rules, but this just seems a little bit ridiculous and a bit of a miscarriage of justice. You know, like honestly, if like it just seems so odd that if somebody isn't actually hurting anybody and they actually pay the money, that somebody else feels that they have the right to say, it's like, okay, well, no, you have to change that. Now, of course, I know that the other people, they're probably more on the conservative side and say, it's like, oh, well, you know, you got to keep the same feeling of the neighborhood and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I personally think it's nuts. Now, this is a YouTube channel. Please do comment on this. Let me know what you think. If you think it's like, hey, well, no, you shouldn't be able to just, you know, dump down a bunch of cash and then change the neighborhood however you want, or, you know, even if it's only your own house and you're not even hurting anybody. But that's what's going through my head when I see this sort of stuff. It just seems odd that people are allowed to be that level of a busybody, and it's pretty clear in this case. It's like, okay, like now that you know that it's getting torn down, I'll just share it again real quick here. Now that you know that it's getting torn down, you know, maybe it gives you a little bit of a different feel because, you know, like, it's pretty. You know, like, not everybody likes the modern style of houses. Some people like more contemporary, traditional styles. But yeah, it just seems so odd that, you know, people can feel entitled enough to say it's like, nope, we're going to make this rule. We have to follow this rule. It's got to be this many meters, not this one, even though you can see right across the road. That's got to be about the same distance from the road as these guys. And that's probably what they were thinking. I don't know if they thought that they wanted a bigger section of land on there, but it's actually really interesting too, because if you look even at the wireframes, you can see that this house is much closer to the street and further away from the water. Who knows? Maybe they were thinking that water levels are going to rise, and so they need to make sure it's higher. Because I do know that this area over here did get flooded just a couple years ago. Anyway, that's what I got for you today, and the only thing I want to talk about that for is to show once again about government involvement can mess up investments. But what do? You don't rock the boat. You don't get any unwanted attention, and you get along with everybody. That's the trick. And some people, sure, they'll end up with a chip on their shoulder, but what can you do? Anyway, that's what I got for you today. So please do like and subscribe. You can go to realestateisascam.com to find out more videos of this, where I'm getting in front of anything that I think is just unfair, or it's a bit of a I don't know, they're playing fast and heavy with the rules. I don't like that kind of stuff. And so for anybody who's particularly cynical about this industry, I put as many of those types of videos out as I can, and then also I show what full-timers do to make sure that they don't get caught by it. So you can check out realestateisascam.com. dandoesdeals.com is more general real estate sorts of things. And I've got a new series going on for anybody who's in commercial real estate, where it's called Chance Encounters, where I can interview you. You can help people get to know you a little bit better online just through videos, and I'll help you out with that. So anyway, get in touch. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you around. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.